Let's be honest. Sometimes reading manhwa feels like deja vu. You pick up a new series, and 5 chapters in, you're thinking, wait a second, haven't I already read this? Same reincarnation setup, same dungeon raid, same overpowered main character, just different names, hairstyles, and cover art. Today, we're talking about the problem with copy-paste manhwas, why so many of them feel identical, and what makes a few stand out from the endless crowd.
First up, Reincarnation manhwas. You know the formula by now. A woman dies, wakes up inside a novel, usually as the villainess who's doomed to die. From death is the only ending for the villainess to kill the villainess and how to get my husband on my side. The core setup is almost identical. And in male-led versions, it's not much different. A guy dies and gets a second chance at life, suddenly becoming a genius swordsman, a master alchemist, or the strongest magician. The problem isn't reincarnation itself, it's that so many manhwas just reuse the exact same beats. A toxic family, a cruel fiancé, a hidden power. Unless the author adds a real twist, the story feels like a copy-paste template we've all read 100 times. Then we've got dungeon manhwas. A mysterious gate opens, monsters invade, humans awaken powers, and suddenly we're following hunters climbing levels and farming loot like it's an RPG. It all started with massive hits like Solo Leveling, but now, every month, a new dungeon manhwa drops, and they almost all look the same. The protagonist is weak at first, gets a cheat ability, then becomes the strongest hunter alive. Sure, it's exciting at the start, but when 10 different series are following the exact same raid structure, the magic wears off. Martial arts manhwas, or Murim stories, are another genre drowning in repetition. Almost everyone starts the same way. A disciple betrayed, a clan destroyed, or a master murdered. Then comes the revenge journey. Don't get me wrong, classics like The Breaker or Legend of the Northern Blade are amazing. But now there are dozens of manhwas recycling the same revenge arc, the same secret scroll, the same cultivation breakthrough. When every protagonist becomes the strongest martial artist with an ancient technique, the uniqueness disappears. CEO romances. You've seen this a million times. A cold, rich, emotionally unavailable male lead, usually in a suit, who falls for the poor but kind heroine. She's either working as his secretary, a contract wife, or a struggling student. High school and delinquent manhwas. These are the school brawler stories where the protagonist looks like a normal student but is secretly the toughest fighter in the city. Think lookism, viral hit, or weak hero. Apocalypse survival manhwas. Zombies, monsters, or a sudden collapse of modern society. And then, boom, every survivor suddenly has powers. You've probably read Sweet Home, The World After the Fall, or Doombreaker. The appeal is obvious. Chaos, survival, and power-ups. But many newer apocalypse manhwas don't build real tension or stakes. Instead, they rush into MC gets a cheat skill and becomes humanity's only hope, which is just the dungeon formula repackaged. Romance fantasy nobles and royal court dramas. A princess, a count's daughter, or a duke's unwanted child fighting for survival in a cold family. Setup is everywhere. Roxana, the remarried empress, survive as the hero's wife. These series can be emotional and beautiful, but the core beats repeat. Abusive parents, cruel in-laws, political marriage, cheating husband. Unless the character writing is strong, these stories start blending together. And lastly, regression stories. This is a subgenre exploding right now. The main character dies, goes back in time, and uses their memories of the future to become unbeatable. Return of the Mount Hwasek SSS class suicide hunter and the greatest estate developer do it really well. But when every other manhwa features a regressor MC with perfect foresight, the stakes vanish because we know they'll always outsmart everyone. So why do we keep getting copy-paste manhwas? The first reason is simple: business. Manhwas are a booming industry, and platforms like Naver and Kakao are competing for clicks. When one series like Solo Leveling or Who Made Me a Princess blows up, publishers immediately push out more with the same formula. It's the safest way to guarantee engagement. The second reason is author pressure. A lot of manhwa writers are under insane deadlines. Some are rookies who are told by editors, stick to what's trending. Instead of experimenting with risky, original ideas that might flop, they're encouraged to recycle the tropes that already sell. Third is reader psychology. We love comfort. Just like romance novels often reuse similar plots, many readers click on a manhwa because it looks familiar. They already know what they're getting. The cold CEO who falls for the kind heroine, the weak hunter who suddenly becomes OP, the villainess who's secretly good. Predictability feels safe. And finally, it's about platform algorithms. Webtoon apps push the manhwas that get the most clicks and retention. If dungeon manhwas are trending, the algorithm favors more dungeon manhwas, which pushes creators to make even more of them. It becomes a cycle that feeds itself. But here's the thing, tropes themselves aren't the problem. Execution is. Kill the villainess takes the villainous trope but flips it into a heartbreaking tragedy. Omniscient Reader makes isekai fresh with meta storytelling. SSS, Class Suicide Hunter, reinvents dungeon climbing with insane insane stakes. These stories prove that even in crowded genres, creativity can shine. What matters is not the trope itself, but how you twist it into something unique. So the real problem with copy-paste manhwas isn't that they use tropes, it's that too many series don't bother to innovate. But what do you think? Do you still enjoy comfort reads even if they're predictable? Or do you drop them the moment you spot the copy-paste formula? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you want recommendations for manhwas that actually stand out.